On December 26, 1944, a lone P-38 Lightning soared through the skies over the Philippines. At the controls was a young American pilot, Major Thomas McGuire. He was already a decorated ace, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to happen. Suddenly, his radio crackled to life with a chilling message from his wingman. "Boogies at 6 o'clock high. It looks like a whole swarm of them." McGuire craned his neck and his heart sank. It wasn't a swarm. It was an apocalypse. 40, maybe even 50. Japanese Zero fighters were descending on his squadron like a cloud of angry hornets. They were outnumbered more than 10 to 1. The standard procedure in this situation was simple: run. The P-38 was fast, and it could outrun a Zero in a straight line. But McGuire wasn't a standard pilot. As his squadron scattered, he did something that defied all logic and training. He pushed his stick forward and rolled his P-38 into a steep, terrifying dive, directly into the heart of the enemy formation. This was the one move every P-38 pilot was warned against. The Lightning was a heavy, powerful twin-engine fighter, but at extreme speeds in a dive, its controls could lock up, a phenomenon known as compressibility. The plane would become an uncontrollable 10-ton missile, plummeting straight to the ground. It was a death sentence. But McGuire had a secret. He had spent countless hours practicing this very maneuver, learning the precise moment the plane would start to stiffen. He knew its limits better than the engineers who designed it. They were predators used to their prey fleeing, not attacking head. The first Zero pilot probably never even saw him coming. A short, precise burst from the P-38's cannons and machine guns, and the Japanese fighter disintegrated into a ball of flame. One down, but there were still dozens more. McGuire didn't level out. He kept the dive, pulling his nose up just enough to line up another target. The Japanese pilots were in chaos. They were trying to track this madman who was dropping through their formation like a thunderbolt. A second Zero made a fatal turn, trying to get on McGuire's tail. Bad move. McGuire adjusted his trajectory, fired again, and another enemy plane went down, trailing thick black smoke. He was a phantom, a blur of silver metal and devastating firepower. This was more than just skillful flying. It was a masterclass in aerial psychology. McGuire knew the Zeros were incredibly agile at lower speeds but became sluggish in a high-speed dive. He had turned his plane's biggest weakness into its most terrifying weapon. He was fighting on his terms, in an environment where the Zeros couldn't touch him. Two more Zeros tried to sandwich him, one from above, one from below. McGuire chopped his throttle, causing the top Zero to overshoot, then slammed it forward again, diving under the belly of the second one and raking it with gunfire from nose to tail. For down the sky was now a swirling vortex of dogfights. McGuire's squadron, emboldened by his insane courage, had turned back to join the fray. But McGuire was still the center of the storm. He was a shark in a school of fish. He had to keep his speed up. If he slowed down, the nimble Zeros would tear him apart. He lined up another target, a Zero that was trying to escape the chaos. A quick burst, and it was gone. 5. Then a sixth, which exploded so close he could feel the heat through his cockpit. In just under 3 minutes, the impossible had happened. The lone P-38 that had dived into an ambush of 40 fighters had single-handedly shot down 7 enemy planes. Official records would later confirm his tally for the day was an astonishing 9 victories. He had entered the dive a pilot and emerged a legend. The Japanese pilots who survived that day would speak of a fork-tailed devil, a ghost that appeared from the sun and vanished just as quickly, leaving nothing but fire and wreckage in its wake. So how did he survive the forbidden dive? McGuire had discovered that by using his P-38's dive recovery flaps, small surfaces, designed to help pull out of a dive at precisely the right moment, he could regain just enough control to aim and fire, all while traveling at speeds that should have been fatal. It was a move that required incredible timing, skill, and nerves of steel. He had pushed his aircraft and himself to the absolute edge of what was possible, and in doing so, he rewrote the rulebook for aerial combat. Sadly, McGuire's story ends just a few weeks later. On January 7, 1945, while trying to protect a struggling wingman at low altitude, his P-38 stalled and crashed. He was just 24 years old. At the time of his death, he was the second highest scoring American ace of the war, with 38 confirmed victories. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his incredible bravery. His final act was one of self-sacrifice, a testament to the character of a man who would dive headfirst into impossible odds to protect his friends. Thomas McGuire's legacy is more than just a number of victories. It's a story of innovation, courage, and defying limits. It's a reminder that sometimes, the greatest risks lead to the greatest triumphs. He was a pilot who looked at a forbidden maneuver and saw not a death sentence, but an opportunity. His incredible 3-minute 9-victory dogfight remains one of the most legendary feats in the history of air combat. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story of incredible heroism, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.